So major news just broke that Texas A&M's 12th Man Plus Foundation will be closing its doors, not because of the NCAA, but because of something far more terrifying, and today, we need to break it down. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe this will be the only collective shutting its doors? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. We are so close to our goal of 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to drop a like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I started the video off by saying, the 12th Man Plus Foundation is shutting its doors, and it's important for several different reasons. First and foremost, I'm really interested to see how Texas A&M pivots, because it wasn't long ago that the state of Texas passed a law that granted protections to organizations like the 12th Man Plus Foundation from the NCAA. But it wasn't the NCAA that came knocking. It was the IRS, something that you just can't hide from. If the IRS wants their cut, the IRS is going to get their cut. And interestingly enough, the IRS was granting tax-exempt status to some of these NIL collectives. But as many people had predicted, once the IRS really took a look at what was going on, it wasn't going to be long before they really started peeking their nose in, asking questions, trying to figure out what's happening in NIL. And the 12th Man Plus Foundation is the first one to fall victim to that. Now, I'm interested to see what ripple effects this causes, because when it started, the 12th Man Plus Foundation was supposed to be a big new trend in the college football NIL collective sphere. Every so often a new thing happens in NIL, and because it's so new, it becomes the new standard. And many thought the Texas A&M's NIL collective, the 12th Man Plus, could be that new standard. However, that doesn't look to be the future anymore. But as has been the entire NIL experience, I'm interested to see how they pivot, because this whole experience has been chaotic, and how could it not have been? NIL was born into chaos, and as oftentimes it is, creation in and of itself is chaotic, and especially when we're talking about creating something where billions of dollars are getting thrown around, you have organizations trying to earn tax deductions, tax credits, and get nonprofit and tax-exempt status. The IRS was bound to come looking, and here they are. So, though Texas A&M's doors have shut on this collective, it's important to note the memo they put out, because in it is something very intriguing. It states, supporters who have contributed to the 12th Man Plus Fund will be contacted directly by the 12th Man Foundation staff with their options, including ways to redirect their contribution and continue investing in the student-athlete experience at Texas A&M. Now, personally, I'm no attorney, I'm no tax attorney, but the way I'm reading this is Texas A&M is simply going to pivot. Yes, the 12th Man Plus Fund has shut its doors, but they're going to get together, sit at the table, and figure out a new way to essentially do the same thing without invoking the wrath of the IRS, something I'm very interested to see what they come up with. But at the end of the day, this is going to be interesting because NIL is so new. People are still figuring out what's going on. The NCAA has so little leverage, they aren't the ones that these organizations are scared of. It's the IRS, and now the IRS is here. What Texas A&M does next, I'm really interested in. How it affects them going forward, I'm really interested in. But I think the bigger question here, does this have bigger reverberations across college football? And sitting here initially, I think the answer to that question is yes, because I think the IRS has now piqued its interest in the NIL sphere, something a lot of organizations are going to start looking at their own organizations and seeing what moves they need to make. We're going to talk about this more tonight on the SEC Connect, and we will actually have an attorney talking with us, Chris Griffin of the Horns Down podcast. Very excited to sit down with him, hear his perspective on this, but I'm also very excited to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments and let me know what you're thinking, because though this pertains to Texas A&M initially, there is something much larger here, something I'm really interested in hearing from all of you on. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.